The new Harpy deck is the obligatory Konami pandering to speed Duel fans, but this one is pretty good. Hysteric Force is able to boost up your Harpy Lady Sisters by 500 or 1000 in maximum mode, and it also lets Harpy's Pet Dragon go up to 2700. But that's not all. Your opponent can't stall against you since Hysteric Force lets you switch a monster into attack mode. Harpy's Pet Dragon is a card I'm seeing most people only run 2 copies of, but personally I like running the full 3 instead of 2 and the Cybertech Alligator. Thanks to the skill, the card is able to easily out opposing boss monsters, whereas Cybertech Alligator is stuck at 2500. If you have 2 of the level 5 monsters on board, this thing can even clear a maximum monster. And then, of course, we are running 3 copies of the regular Harpy Lady to boost the Pet Dragon even further, 3 copies of our 1500, and 3 Trick Pigeon, as a way to recycle the maximum pieces. The only annoying part is that Harpy's Pet Dragon is, of course, a dragon, and not a winged beast, so it is unable to be recycled. Due to the Trick Pigeon, we are running a few more spell and traps than I would in most other decks, and the weirdest one I'm sure is Sword and Shield with no shield and sword. This is of course because the Harpy's Pet Dragon is a 2500 defense point monster. It's definitely experimental, and due to the other monsters having 0 defense, I could see cutting it. What I wouldn't cut though is the Ghost Cyclone and Talismanic Seal Array. By using the Seal Array to shuffle your monsters back into the deck, and Harpy Lady Sisters naturally wanting to put monsters in the deck as well, Ghost Cyclone can draw you a card much later in the game than you would expect, and you're even fairly likely to have an empty board, as the 2100 boss monsters of this deck are much less sticky than the ones you would find in others. We have a small Aqua package here, but some players are running cards like Tyhone and Harpy Girl instead, increasing the number of winged beasts you have for Harpy Lady Sisters effect. Monster Reincarnation is the legend card of choice for any maximum summon deck, and we run a single copy of Pierce so that Harpy Lady Sisters is able to get through a defensive board and end the game when in maximum mode. Finally, Widespread Ruin is Widespread Ruin. Let's head into the replays. We start off against a Gavin, and our hand is looking pretty okay. We draw for turn, and we know that they have a tribute set monster. I bring in Faithbird and Kana before tributing off for Harpy Lady Sisters and throwing down the Widespread Ruin. Hysteric Force guarantees our Harpy Lady Sisters is able to clear anything. But I actually was not paying attention at the time and forgot that they had tribute set a monster. So I flip over the Piercing Samurai, inflict some damage, and then take 500 myself. Luckily, I do have a Widespread Ruin here, and the warrior players often are unable to remove trap cards since their own spell trap removal is via a trap card themselves, making it a little bit slow. We Widespread Ruin on the Kime Ruler, and they are left with a lone Piercing Samurai. We use Hysteric Force again to buff up the Harpy Lady's right side. They use Dark Ruler Battle Slash, but they do not have a level 8 monster on the board anymore, meaning we are able to swing in and close out the game on turn 4 despite the early misplays. We are up first, and we have actually drawn 2 pieces of the Harpy already. We bring out the rest of our cards and pass turn. My opponent draws and reveals they are on the maximum overload ability, setting a monster face down and then flipping up 7-Zone Magician to beat over the Harpy Lady. 7-Rose Magician uses the effect and goes to 2700 by milling a light sorcerer. However, this board is not that scary. We draw into the final piece of the Harpy Lady, and then we perform the minimum summon. Harpy Lady Sisters, Harpy Lady Sisters right, and Harpy Lady Sisters left. Hysteric Force triggers and puts 2 monsters back in the deck when we use the Lady's effect. Swing in and clear. They're going to need to find a maximum monster if they want to clear this board. They do get out another 7-Zone Magician, but that is not enough. They set another monster, Elemental Road, and are at 3300. My monster goes down, and it is my move. We draw for turn, and we get a Trick Pigeon. However, we have no spell or trap cards, so we are forced to just summon a Harpy Lady and head into battle. We clear out the board with Harpy Lady after the recital stops us from getting in for a direct attack. The opponent draws and uses the skill one more time to set another monster. However, this time it is not the third 7-Zone Magician. They swing in and pass our move. And we draw Harpy's Pet Dragon. We summon it, summon a Trick Pigeon, and we go in for game. Hysteric Force boosts the dragon by 700. And with Trick Pigeon, we are able to finish it out. Okay, so we open up 3 spell cards and no normal summonable monsters. Luckily, our opponent does put a card face down, allowing us to use Ghost Cyclone to draw into a Trick Pigeon. And this means we are going to be able to bring in a Harpy Lady Sisters. We use Hysteric Force to boost it, and then flip up a Mystic Dealer. We throw the 2 cards face down, and take out Dealer. We're forced to pass with a lone monster, and no protection. They draw for turn, showing off Light Sorcerer. Magical Stream will destroy one of my cards, and then 7-Zone Mage and 2 Light Sorcerers of Sanctity are both here to attempt to debuff. Fortunately, the Mage is not able to use the effect, as Harpy Lady Sisters is not a level 7 monster. We see someone's Axel Road revealed, and they beat over for a ton of damage. 2 Light Sorcerers is 2400, and the 7-Sword Witch deals a significant amount as well. We're down to just 2100 life, and draw for turn. Luckily, we do find a Widespread Ruin. We summon out both of our remaining Harpy Lady Sister pieces, and head into the battle phase. After buffing with Hysteric Force and Harpy Lady Sisters effect, our 3100 Harpy Lady Sisters clears out 1 Light Sorcerer, and then we take out the other. We are keeping the 7-Sword Witch on the field, as it is not able to debuff and hopefully is unable to use the effect. But as you can see, they do immediately summon 7-Zone Magician, and then a 7-Zone Mage as well, but it still is unable to debuff, and they concede after realizing it isn't going to work.